Hey there, Builder Blog. Captain Zach here. Still in the middle of my move and currently building shelving. So, this week we're going to do the unedited interviews from Andy's Ask the Builder series. All the pressing questions from your favorite captains, Hypershock, Malice, Chomp, everybody. That was at Open Sauce. So, let's turn it over to Andy and get to it.
Will, what is the best Battlebots fight of all time?
Break versus the drone. Break versus the drone. Still, absolutely the best.
Who is the best driver in all of Battlebots?
She is.
Who's the most underrated Battlebot in the sport currently?
Oh man. I mean, I know they were off this last season, but I think Tombstone. I think people are forgetting how scary Tombstone is.
If you had unlimited money, describe your Vaporbot.
Oh well, first it would walk. It'd be a walker. It would be a crusher and a flipper all in one. Because why not? You know, everything's titanium. Everything's bright colors. Maybe I'll just build that.
What is your favorite Comedy Central era Battlebot?
There's a lot. I think Turbo, or maybe Buddy Lee Don't Play in the Street.
What is your favorite robot ever?
Any robot ever of all time.
Any hints?
Bender.
And what's your number one tip to get started fighting robots?
Just show up to an event. You don't even have to be ready to fight a robot that day. Just show up and feel what it's like, and meet some people near you, and just get involved.
What is the best Battlebots fight of all time?
That's an easy one. It's Warhead versus another Canadian, Derek Young with what the hell? Complete Control. Complete Control versus Warhead.
Who is the best driver in Battlebots?
Oh, that's a good one. I know this guy Andy Sorrow's pretty good. I'd put him up near the top of the list. Besides him, I'd say today, Jameson Go, Calvin Eba. I'd pick them 1-2. I don't know who's first and second, but they have pretty good versatility.
Who is the most underrated bot in the sport?
Most underrated bot in the sport. Geez, that's a hard one. I actually think the new Kraken could be really formidable. They got some problems, but I think they're going to be a problem next year.
If money was not an option, what is your Vaporbot?
Money, no object. I would build like Hal Rucker, that's for sure, and not a vertical spinner. So what would I do? It would have to be multiple weapons. I don't have a good answer for that. I don't think about that. I think Melty Brain could make a comeback. We'll see how it goes.
Who is your favorite Comedy Central era Battlebot?
Comedy Central era, I was a big fan of Yasha and the Judge. And not just for the machine, but the way Yasha drove it all out all the time.
What is your favorite robot ever?
Favorite ever? I think Warhead's up there in terms of his
robot.
favorite robot ever, probably Terminator.
What is your top tip to get started with fighting robots?
Try it. Give it a start. Build a small machine, 1 pound, 3 pounds. Give it a try. Get out there and build. Compete.
What's the best Battlebots fight of all time?
Oh, good God. There's too many to. Okay, so I've been through 20 years. I've seen a lot of robot fights. I have a few in my head instantaneously, but to pick one is extremely difficult. More recently, we had Triton versus Manta, which is one of the largest KE amounts of energy transfer I've ever seen in my life. But in the old days, I like to see Biohazard get ripped apart not only by gigabyte or megabyte, but then the next day gets fully rebuilt and then gets destroyed by brutality. That was a crazy thing for me because in my youth, I liked Biohazard, and then to see Gigabyte or Megabyte, which was the robot I now liked at the time, destroy it. I was like, wow, that's a big changeover from my younger self to my newer self of what I think is a cool robot.
Who's the best driver in Battlebots currently?
The currently best driver in the world is myself. It's so hard to tell because realistically, unless you drive everyone else's robot, that's how you would know if they're a good driver or not. Because every robot drives so differently, it's so difficult to discern if someone's a good driver or not without also driving that robot and seeing how that robot drives. Matt Vasquez is definitely one of them, a contender. I think I am also a very good driver because I've driven a lot of different things, but you have to have like a full one-on-one to really find that out.
Who is the most underrated Battlebot?
Who is the most underrated Battlebot? That's a tough question because most underrated Battlebot.
Quickfire.
Quickfire, but I'm thinking about it because that's a really tough question. The most underrated Battlebot. I actually don't know what to answer for that. Most underrated Battlebot.
We'll come back to it.
Okay, I'll think about it.
If you had unlimited money, what is the Vaporbot you would make?
Bigger Deep Six.
Who is your favorite Comedy Central area battle?
Okay, so when I was a kid, Comedy Central, my favorite robot was Biohazard. I loved it. I thought it was a great design. Completely changed now, but Biohazard was one of my favorites back in the day.
Who is your favorite robot ever? Any robot?
Favorite robot ever is also difficult. I do really like Kronos as a design concept. The ring spinner is fantastic. I love it.
Not just Battlebots. Any robot in the history of robots.
So like not necessarily combat robots either.
Not just combat.
Any robot ever.
Any robot.
God, that's even harder though. Combat robots is easy. Any robot ever. I'm not in the right frame of mind for that question. I would have to say, a vending machine.
That's actually a great answer.
Yeah.
Top tip to get started in robotics.
Top tip to get started in robots. Build small. Maybe start with plastic ant weights. They're cheap, affordable, easy to repair. You usually don't get totally wrecked. Build your way up though. Never don't ever go big. Start small, get experience. There's more events that happen locally. Find your local events and get out there and just get fighting. Just build something. Just do it.
Most underrated battle.
So from personal experience and seeing in the proving grounds, right now the most underrated Battlebot is Horizon. 100%. That thing hits way harder than people give it credit for, and it's a scary robot, especially for even like Triton, because you hit him, he comes back and swings at you, and he just tears up your wheels.
What is the best Battlebots fight of all time?
Oh, come on. I don't know. Probably Warhead doing the headstand.
Who is the best driver in Battlebots?
Of course, you want these rapid fire, right?
Take your time. I'm going to edit it down.
Okay.
This first thing that comes to mind is
Matt Vasquez.
Matt Vasquez.
Yeah, sure.
Who is the most underrated Battlebot?
The Battlebot itself? Wow. Let's see, who's making these ratings?
You.
No.
Who do you think is the most underrated Battlebot?
See, I've never really understood what that really means.
Gary's processing.
I know it's easy to figure out who's overrated, but underrated, that's a tough one. Can't answer that.
Who is your favorite Comedy Central era Battlebot?
Warhead.
Speak, say it a little louder.
Warhead.
What is your favorite robot ever? Any medium, anywhere. It doesn't have to be Battlebots. It doesn't have to be a fighting robot.
It doesn't have to actually be a real robot, right? 'Cause
Favorite
most people think-
robot ever.
Yeah. And see, that's why I never do these things.
You got nothing?
Nothing.
R2D2, C3PO, Terminator?
Probably Terminator.
Probably Terminator?
Yeah.
Right. What's your top tip to get started?
Watch fight videos.
What was the best BattleBots fight of all time?
Oh, that's a tough one. I would say probably, I don't know, probably Cobalt versus Sub-Zero. It's like the first time that you see this robot that's a kind of unique design that you don't really see in the States, at least, anywhere, and just completely annihilates the opponent in ways that probably no one really expected.
Who was the best driver in BattleBots?
Oh, that's really tough. I think there are drivers that are technically skilled, and then there are drivers that are strategically skilled. They're kind of two different groups. I think Jameson Go is one of the most strategically skilled drivers. And he also has a ton of drive practice. It's hard to say who has like the most actual driving practice, but I don't know. I would say probably Calvin Eva is up there. Will Bales is probably up there as well.
Who was the most underrated BattleBot?
Most underrated bot? Oh, that's a tough one. Probably Walker Chomp.
If money was not an option, what is the vapor bot you would make?
Walker Chomp, but like with an actuated spinner on the arm.
What's your favorite Comedy Central era BattleBot?
I would say probably Hazard.
What is your favorite robot ever? It doesn't have to be a fighting robot.
Either Bender from Futurama, probably Bender from Futurama.
And what is your top tip to get started in fighting robots?
Just go to robotics.com.
All right, recording. What is the best BattleBots fight of all time?
Oh man, the best one? Gosh. I think for now I'm gonna have to say when Hypershock deleted Gigabyte.
Who is the best driver in BattleBots?
Who the best one? I'm gonna say JMO. I feel like he knows when to approach someone and attack them.
A little bit louder.
I would have to say JMO because I feel like he knows where to approach the opponents and all that to get them right at the right area to attack.
Who is the most underrated BattleBot currently?
Ooh, the most underrated. Yeah, I have to think about that one. That's. Gosh. I'm trying to think about this. It's like, the thing is like, when you get into BattleBots, you end up just like always focusing on one robot or your own robot. So I honestly never really had time to really look at what robots we have. But let me see. What's that like here? Okay, I'm gonna be based here. I'm gonna say Kronos because I'm a ring spinner builder.
Kronos?
Yes, it's got potential. Oh, I'm gonna say Kronos because I'm a ring spinner builder, and I feel like it's got potential if they did ever continue to iterate on it.
Who is your favorite Comedy Central era BattleBot?
Oh boy, let's see. I'd have to say Complete Control. It looked very slick. I guess I like to build robots nice and thin and all that, and like Complete Control had that type of theming that I really liked for designs.
What's your favorite robot ever? Doesn't have to be a BattleBot or a fighting robot.
Okay. Once again, I'm going to be based towards ring spinners here. It's going to be the Ringmaster.
Okay.
Because,
It doesn't have to be a fighting robot.
no. Oh, well. Well, it just got me into getting into ring spinners, so.
Sweet. Okay. What is your top tip to get started?
Top tip. Start off in the 3D printed 1 pound plastic class. You need to pay for like metal weapons. If you have a 3D printer, print it out, design it, send it to an event to compete at, see what breaks and fix it.
What is the best BattleBots fight of all time? Project.
The best Battlebots fight of all time was 100% Hypershock. The best fight of all time was Hypershock versus Gigabyte.
Who is the best driver in BattleBots?
The best driver in Battlebots looks kind of like me, and his name is Matty Vasquez.
Who is the most underrated BattleBot?
That's tough. The most underrated BattleBot is the Uppercut.
If you had unlimited money, what is the vapor bot you would make?
If I had unlimited money, I would just make more versions of my current robot, King Crab.
Who is your favorite Comedy Central era Battlebot?
Um, my favorite Comedy Central BattleBot was probably Megabyte.
What is your favorite robot ever? Doesn't have to be a combat robot. Any medium ever.
My favorite robot ever is bought by Boston Dynamics. Or actually Chappie. Chappie from the movie.
What is your top tip to get started?
My top tip to get started is to show up to an event and start small.
And we're live. What's the best BattleBots fight of all time?
I think it was the first time Will Bells really showed off his weapon. Who was that? Was it Matt Catter? Which one did he go against? It was one of those where, holy shit, Will Bells just came into his own and he's dominating this thing. That to me was the most exciting one.
Try to project it. I got it.
Okay.
Who is the best driver in BattleBots?
I'm gonna say Jason Vasquez just to troll Maddie.
Who is the most underrated BattleBot?
Who's the most underrated BattleBot? It's so hard to pin down. I always liked. Well, I mean, they're not underrated. I just like watching them fight Valkyrie. I always feel like, you go in there and you think, okay, they don't have this, but then all of a sudden they turn around and make it work. I don't know if that's a great answer or not.
If you had unlimited money to make whatever VaporBot you want, what would you make?
I think the VaporBot I would make would be the VaporBot I've been thinking about since 2016, which is brushless version of Ghost Raptor, which is still an articulated spinner, but it basically flattens out.
Who is your favorite Comedy Central era battle?
Favorite Comedy Central, say that again?
Who is your favorite Comedy Central era battle?
Era BattleBot? Well, let me tell you I don't even know if they were around Comedy Central time, but Battle Royale with Cheese is probably my favorite one. If they weren't around during the Comedy Central era, I would say I don't know, I would go old school. I mean, I always like Biohazard.
Biohazard?
Yeah.
Who is your favorite robot ever? Doesn't matter if it's a fighting robot, entertainment, whatever. Favorite robot ever?
Well, I mean, if we're talking just
any robot ever.
Any robot ever.
Robots.
It would have been, I think, Roy.
Who?
Hold on, give me a second. I think it would be Roy from Blade Runner.
Who?
Roy from Blade Runner. So Roy was the bad guy. He was the villain.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember that. And then at the last minute, he realized his humanity, and then right before he died, right, he spared Harrison Ford. Right, Rick Deckard.
We'll edit the spoilers out.
Okay.
Watch Blade Runner.
Yeah, watch Blade Runner.
And what is your top tip to get started?
Top tip to get started is just build it. I mean, one thing, build it, fail, build it again, fail again, until you don't fail anymore. But don't be afraid to start, whatever the case.
Awesome. All right. What is the best BattleBots fight of all time?
For me, the best BattleBots fight of all time would be Huge versus Mammoth.
Who is the best driver in all of BattleBots?
Ooh, that one's pretty tough. Right now, Jameson Go might be top dog.
Who is the most underrated BattleBot?
Most underrated? I believe the name was Plan X.
Okay.
Lisa Winter's robot from, I think, season 2.
If you had unlimited money to make the BattleBot of your dreams?
Oh man. I think I would want something with a spike, maybe gasoline powered, a little bit of explosive action going on.
Who is your favorite Comedy Central era BattleBot?
Vlad the Impaler.
What is your favorite robot ever? Any medium, anything, entertainment?
Wally. It's got to be Wally. Such a good heart in that robot.
What is your top tip to get started in fighting robots?
I would say go ahead and fail that first one. It's going to be rough. You can make it easier with a kit, but go ahead and get that failure under your belt and just pick yourself back up and it won't be too bad.
What is the best BattleBot fight of all time?
The best BattleBots fight of all time. I think if it doesn't involve our robot, I would say last season's Minotaur Sawblaze was pretty incredible. That I think it was the quarterfinal fight. That was pretty great.
Who is the best driver in all BattleBots?
Ooh, the best driver in all BattleBots. I'm a little bit biased. I will have to stick with our team and say me.
Who's the most underrated BattleBot?
The most underrated BattleBot. Oh man, that. I don't know, Copperhead, let's say. I think not enough hype around Copperhead. Yeah.
If you had unlimited money to make a paper bot, what would you make?
Unlimited money to make a paper bot. I think I would team up with Tommy Wong and build Giant Droopy.
Who is your favorite Comedy Central era BattleBot?
Oh man, so many. Shit. Well, let's go with classic Biohazard. I don't know. Or maybe Vlad the Impaler. That's all I got.
What's your favorite robot ever? Any medium, and it could be entertainment, could be real.
Favorite robot ever? Mechadon. Go Mechadon.
And what's your top tip to get started?
Top tip to get started, build small robots. You could build ant weights and beetle weights for a fraction of the cost of these big robots. Go finger tax, build an ant weight, and yeah. Fine place.
What's the best BattleBots fight of all time?
Oh dang! There's so many good ones to choose from. I still love Nightmare versus SJ and the de-skinning.
Who is the best driver in all BattleBots?
Ooh, that's tough. I think there's an any given Sunday factor because I think there's a lot of really great drivers. I mean, some obvious answers are like Gary Jin. I think Gary Jin is a really great driver. He has a nice four-wheel drive robot with a long wheelbase, so great control. But I don't know. Who's the best? I'm gonna go with Will Bales.
Who's the most underrated robot in BattleBots?
Oh, the most underrated robot. I kind of feel like Claw Viper is. There's a lot going on in that robot. There's a lot of power, like more power than a lot of like kinetic energy weapon robots are using. And they were able to breach the arena just by shoving Ribot into it so hard. So like, that's a serious robot. They just don't have anywhere to put an opponent. If they had somewhere to put an opponent, I think they'd be top 16 easy.
If you had unlimited money to make any robot that you could for BattleBots, what would you make?
I would make something out of some really exotic material, just like billet frame. I'm just all about construction and material stuff. So some high-end exotic material, billet frame, no expenses spared kind of build, custom motors. Design-wise though, I think it'd be a vertical spinner.
Favorite Comedy Central era BattleBot?
Ooh, favorite Comedy Central era BattleBot. Oh, it's got to be Ziggo.
Favorite robot ever, any medium, it could be entertainment or real life. Favorite robot.
Favorite robot ever. I'm gonna go with TikTok from The Return to Oz.
What is your top tip to get started?
Buy a kit, go to an event, don't be scared. If you can't buy a kit, go to an event. Just start by going to an event and talking to people, find out what they do. If you can get a kit and bring it to your first event, that's even better. Like, go to an event.
What is the best Battlebots fight of all time?
I really like the Hypershock Mad Catter fight. You get a lot of destruction, a lot of parts flying. The robots keep going mostly, and lots of electronic sparks, lots of magic smoke. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun, and it was a great fight just because we didn't have to rebuild the robot afterwards.
Try to project just a little bit louder. 'Cause it's
Okay.
Who is the best driver in Battlebots?
I think Matt Vasquez is the best driver. He has a really challenging robot to drive, and he just smothers the opponent, and it's really impressive.
Who is the most underrated Battlebot?
Not sure. Let's say Jackpot has a lot of reach, and there's some really smart people behind it, and I think it can go do really, really well.
If you had unlimited money to make the Battlebot of your dreams, what would you do?
I try to scale up links. I try to do something a little different, make it a little unique for BattleBots. But yeah, it's a good robot to base a heavyweight off of.
What was your favorite Comedy Central era Battlebot?
See, I think I was only like 5 when I watched that, so I hardly remember any of them. But probably any of Donald Hudson's robots. I think those really stood out. They had a very unique style, and they're really fun to watch.
What is your favorite robot ever? Could be movies, entertainment, real life. Favorite robot?
Probably R2-D2. Yeah, just all those gadgets, and just has a fun character.
And what is your top tip to get started?
Go to an event and talk to people. That's how I got started. I went to a local event and started talking to people, and I thought it was super cool, and everyone was super nice and very welcoming, and I knew I had to build after that.
That's it. What is the best BattleBots fight of all time?
Warhead versus, I want to say Complete Control. It was when Warhead went up on his head and just ran across the arena. It was the most amazing fight.
Who is the best driver in all of BattleBots?
David Lau. He has 21 years and all the trophies to prove it.
Who is the most underrated BattleBot?
I think that E-Man's Big Dill is the most underrated BattleBot. He is so amazing, and he does all of this conceptualizing and just little details that no one appreciates, and it's just such a beautifully machined creation, and I just really enjoy it.
If money were not an option, what BattleBot would you build?
Malice, the money's already not an option.
What is your favorite Comedy Central era BattleBot?
Mechadon. Mechadon was out of its mind. Like there's nothing like Mechadon, and it was so next level. Everything about Mechadon just felt like fake and like it was from a different world, and I just enjoyed that.
What is your favorite robot ever? Any robot, any medium, real life or not?
I think my favorite robot is the Iron Man suit. That was an AI, and I just love Iron Man. So, I loved Orson Scott Card growing up, and so I I've never read any other Iron Man comic, not one. But the one that was written by Orson Scott Card, I read like crazy because I had just read Ender's Game, and I decided to read everything by Orson Scott Card. And he made an Iron Man comic, and I loved it. And there was this AI that came to life and tried to like kill Tony, and then it was just amazing. I just really love that.
What is your top tip to get started?
Definitely start small. Make all your mistakes more cheaply and easily rectified, and with not as many stakes on the option. Stress is one of the biggest killers of combat robotics. So, like, being able to start small and not have as much on the line, you really get to learn and absorb everything that you need.
What is the best BattleBots fight of all time?
Donald Hudson with Dissector versus Final Destiny. Donald welded on a little teeny piece of metal that he got under Final Destiny's weapon, or under their armor, and sent their own armor up into their own weapon, trashing their own robot.
Who is the best driver in BattleBots?
Matt Vasquez.
Hands down?
Hands down.
What is the most underrated BattleBot?
Underrated BattleBot. I think Skorpios does not get the value it's due.
Oh yeah.
This isn't even my final form.
If you had unlimited money to make a BattleBot, what would you make?
I might remake Ronin in a much more viable version, but that's unlimited money.
What is your favorite Comedy Central era BattleBot?
Favorite Comedy Central? I'm gonna say Mechadon. Like, it's hands down. It's just always Mechadon.
What is your favorite robot ever? Any medium, TV, entertainment, real life, any robot?
I'm torn. It's either Robbie the Robot or K2SO. Like, fucking amazing. Hands down, phenomenal.
And what is your top tip to get started?
Small competitions. Robotcombat.com, I think it is, for all the schedules. Start with ant weights.
Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Thank you to Andy for interviewing, and thank you to all the BattleBots captains for participating. I've got so many nicely sorted 1-pound parts. I think next week we gotta build something. It's time to make the builder blog build things. So, tune in next week, and we're gonna see what kind of 1-pound robot we can make. All right, take it easy.